Hello, everybody. It's Flesson19, and welcome to the best caravan settings for branch 1.5.8. This is going to be a longer video than I normally do, considering I am using more settings than I previously have. There was a suggestion made in the 1.5.7 settings to include scouting and riding, as they might actually help improve what you're going to do since the caravan views those as well. I did actually include writing into this one, and there are two others that I do plan on covering in the future. The testing for this video took approximately 7 hours to do. So I'd already been 7 hours into it, so I didn't really want to include those two into this one, as 1.5.8 has already been out for a while, and I wanted to get this one up as quick as possible. Once I do include these new settings, I figure it's going to take me more than one day to actually get all these numbers together. So I want to give a big shout out to Dicky Boy, who asked me to check on scouting and riding, and I did include riding in this one. I do also want to bring up a new point that has been brought up in 1.5.8, and that is when parties get injured, they now go to a town and they will stay there and rest until they're healed. So if a caravan gets attacked, it could be 2 to 5 days waiting in town for those troops to recover before it goes back out again. That is just another addition to RNG that can make these numbers so difficult to pinpoint and how important it is. And that is one reason why in the future I will be testing medicine. So let us run over the settings that I'm going to go ahead and use. The first one is I just send the companions out with just red hard caps of 4. They can gain nothing higher than that. The other stat that I'm included is riding. So I will have increased all of their ridings up to 200. Another one is trade. I will increase their trade up to 200. I will also spread them out, meaning I will make sure that when I leave a caravan in one town, I will make sure there is at least a gap in between another town before I send one out. So that way they are spread out across the map. That is something that I got from the devs, specifically Mexico, that said it should help. It did not help in 1.5.7. We are going to test it again. Also, I am going to be testing a theory that I have been thinking there is a problem with, and I do want to show the devs that it is a problem. I tried explaining it in 1.5.7. It didn't come out right, as they are from Turkey, so there can be a language barrier. So I wanted to do the further testing in 1.5.8, and this is why I did not include the other settings such as scouting and medicine, because running these is what helped take this up to over a 7 hour test. So how exactly does it work? I will take caravans and I will send them out. I will then wait an entire month for them to continue to do their runs, so that way they build up their money, establish their routes, and they're making decent money. I will then get rid of all the money I have on me. I have no income. I have no money going out in wages, and therefore I start at zero. I will let them run for an entire year. Once that year is up, then I will take the money that is made. I will go ahead and divide that by 84 days in a year, how many caravans I run, and that will give me the number that I use, in which you will hear called is profit per caravan per day. That is how much each individual caravan is making you every day. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to test the theory that I have been trying to get Tail World to understand. That is running more caravans equals less profit. Now, naturally, it should be that way. The more you put out in the world, the less you're actually going to make because there's more people trading. However, what I'm trying to get them to understand is the profits shouldn't drop as much as they do. When I sent out one caravan, they ended up making 415. When I sent out two caravans, they made 367 per day. When I sent out three caravans, they made 343 per day. Four caravans, 340 a day, and five caravans, 272 per day. So as you can see, the more caravans you send out, the less profit you're going to make per day per caravan. Now, overall, you're going to make more because if you multiply 5 times 272, that's going to come out to be 1,360, which is more than the 415 you're making with one. So you're making more money sending out more caravans, but the overall profit drops. If you do the math, sending out one caravan and then sending out five caravans, you lose a total of 34% profit. There's 53 towns in the game, and if you average two merchants per town, that's 100 caravans, since they each have a caravan running. Adding one caravan to the map would decrease, you figure, about 1%, because you're adding 1% more to the map. So adding out an additional four caravans, your profit should jump down by 34%. So if you're saying that their prosperity in four towns increases, that four new merchants spawn, and they throw out four caravans, does that mean my profits will drop by another 34%? Profits should drop the more caravans that go out. However, if you do the math, adding four caravans to this huge world should not equate to a 34% drop in your overall profit. That's what I want Tail World to understand, because when they do a test, they just send out one caravan into the world, let it go, and that's their profit. If you look at my numbers, it made 415 per day. That is a great number. That's awesome. However, once you jump it down to 272, that looks a lot different. So this is the test that I wanted to run to get Tail World to understand there's something wrong with those numbers that needs to be checked into. We will now get into the main test. The one thing I did drop from this test was upgrading troops to the higher tiers. Back in approximately 1.5.6 or so, that had actually made a difference. However, since testing then, it has made no difference, and once again, it did not either. So I stopped that test. So first what I did was is I sent all five caravans out from one town. In the first test, I just had a bare bones character that had a maximum of 4 to their hard cap on all skills. They averaged 272 profit per caravan per day. Next, I upgraded all the companions to 200 riding. Let them go again. They averaged 288 per day. Next, I upgraded only the trade on the companions to 200, ran them, and they made 326 per day. Then I ran it where I had both 200 trade and 200 riding. They averaged 350 per caravan per day. Then I started it over again, this time using the advice that I got from Mexico. I spread them out and made sure that they never were put out touching another city. Just putting them out bare bones character, hard cap of 4, they averaged 288 per day. Just doing 200 riding on the companions, they averaged 306 per day. Having just 200 trade, they averaged 374 per day. And then having both riding and trade at 200, spread out across the map, they averaged a whopping 420 per caravan per day. That is really good for caravans. Traders can easily get 5, 6, even 7 companions on a trader. And if you do the math on that with 6 caravans running, that is nearly 2,500 dinars per day you are making alone on caravans. Yes, you do have to worry about them getting captured, but that is some pretty good money that we have not seen in the last couple patches, making caravans a bit more viable to actually run. Now, granted, I will tell you, this was run with 200 skill. That is a lot of skill. This is something that I'm going to try to stress to Kale World, and that those are very high numbers that you do not get right away. Takes a very long time, and it takes points to invest. I think that trade should be increased a bit more and how much it impacts how much the caravans make in profit. That is something I am going to stress to them, because right now they're probably only pulling about a 15 to 20% increase in profit if you go to 200 trades. And you're mostly going to have to invest 3 to 4 full points into trade to get that. And points are valuable. And if you're going to invest that much into trade, you should be able to get a really good benefit out of it. So you can see by the settings, the best thing that you can run is, yes, you want riding. Yes, you want trade. Yes, you want to spread them out. You want to do all those things. As I said, in the future, probably in 1.5.9, I'm going to look at testing both medicine and scouting. Now, that's going to take a while. I figure that's going to take more than one full day's worth of testing to go ahead and add all those components in as well. But I think pretty much for the most part, virtually any skill that you're going to give a companion when doing a caravan is going to help, because they are leading that caravan. Those are the caravan settings for 1.5.8. And just remember, I put these in my playlist. So that way later on, if you go to 1.5.9 and don't like it and want to go back to 1.5.8, these settings are still here for you. Just like 1.5.7 is still there for you. Just do a search for Flesson19 caravan settings and the video should come right up. Or just go search in my guides and tutorial and you'll see it sitting right there. That way, if you ever come back to a patch before, you're going to be able to look at what settings are good for that patch. And this is going to be there for you when you really need it. Because in the end, that is what I try to give you, is the most accurate, reliable, and up-to-date information that you guys need to try to have the best gameplay you can get. So until 1.5.9, take care and thanks for watching.